Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name's Preston. Today's news day. We're jumping right into Starter Deck 13 card reveals, as well as our first extra booster card reveals, which is super exciting that they're dropping these at the same time. And we also have some website news right in the middle here. So let's jump into the first card, Yamato. Yamato yellow character, 5 cost, 4k power, Wano country, 2k counter, rush. On play, look at all of your life cards, place one of the cards on the top of your deck, then return your life cards in your desired order. That's pretty cool. So we're starting to see manipulation of life that we haven't seen up until this point. So you start by taking a life to the top of your deck, which is, I think, new. I don't think we've had stuff that goes from life to the top of deck. We've always had from top of deck to life. All of like the Big Mom Pirates and stuff like that. The other Yamato goes from top of deck to the life. But now we're getting resort your life, which is pretty crazy, especially with what Starter Deck 13 does when you're trying to see a Sabo and Luffy at the top of your life. But if you consider this not being leader locked, it does not say anything about a condition to be met, just on play. So your yellow decks just get a little bit stronger, says they're going to just place their triggers there. They're going to remove a life, they don't know what that one is, stack their triggers in a way that is most effective for them, and then if they play another one of these, they're going to put triggers back. Or if they get life, they're going to sort it so that they're always hitting a trigger that they want to hit, and when they want to hit it. So it's going to make the roulette wheel, or that gamble that yellow felt like they were playing before, feel much more consistent. And I think that's going to be super annoying to play against. With that being said, let's move on to our next card here. We have Sabo yellow character, 2 cost, 2k power, Goa Kingdom. Activate main. You may trash this character. Reveal the top card of your life. If the card is a 5 cost Sabo card, you may play it. If you play it, up to one of your leaders gets 2k power until the end of your turn, or opponent's turn. So this is the same as the ace we saw. And to jump right into his brother, a Monkey D. Luffy yellow character, 2 cost, 2k power, Goa Kingdom. Activate main. You may trash this character. Reveal the top card of your life. If the card is a 5 cost Monkey D. Luffy card, you may play it. If you play it, up to one of your leaders gain 2k power until the end of their opponent's turn. Same thing. So the Sabo, the Luffy, and the Ace all have the same effect. They play a 5 cost version of themselves, which is what I was expecting to see, and it makes this deck a really interesting and really well thought out version of these 3 characters. We're getting searchers for these guys, we're getting cards that play these 3. I think the engine is coming along nicely. We still need to answer what happens to face up cards and how they get affected if you send them to the bottom of your deck. There's some like ruling stuff to get figured out. But the card engine, you're being able to search these 3, you're being able to play these 3 off the top of your life, and you're able to spam all 3 of them with the Don from last week. So we have quite a nice Sabo Luffy Ace engine. We're going to have to see how we fill out the rest of the cards in the deck to improve draw. There's no other searchers except for the Garp. So we'll have to see what we do with this deck, because I think it's a nice way to play. But how do we get those 5 costs there consistently? How do we actually activate this effect consistently? We'll have to figure that out. Let's move on to our website news. It has finally happened. We are fully out of our red ban. We are sticking with Moby Dick and Cabbage as our only ban cards, and we are rushing fearlessly into the future in this set 5 meta. What do you guys think? It's happened. There is no Whitebeard Pirates on the ban list. His boat's still there. I'm surprised. I don't know why they didn't get bring boat back. Because we didn't see anything super effective in the East with these two cards, with Cabbage and Moby Dick. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm hoping that in the next few weeks we drop these two cards as well. There's no reason for them to be there at this point, in my opinion. Do you think there's anything in the current meta that needs to be added to the list? Is there a restricted or banned card option in your head? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you think is too overpowered and unfun to play against and has no real answers. Moving on to the next thing we have here. This is our English reveal of EB-01 Extra Booster Memorial Collection, and this is the first release date I've seen for it, so I wanted to let you guys know. May 2024, so probably mid-May, we are getting the cards that we're going to talk about pretty soon, the Extra Booster. We saw the Japanese release of this news 1 or 2 weeks ago, and here's our English release, May. That's pretty cool. We should be getting the same order as them, so there's stuff that they have with the Uda starter deck, with the Zoro Sanji starter deck, with OP06, and then this. I believe that's the order. Pretty exciting. The next bit of news is in Japan for the championship, the flagship battles, which I believe are their big in-store tournaments, have updated promos that I don't remember seeing before. So we get an alt art of set 1 Mihawk and an alt art of set 6 Perona. So we get these two again as cards together. I love that for them. And really nice arts for this. I believe Mihawk didn't have any alt arts before, so a really nice fierce Mihawk alt, very cool. And then Perona's getting a second alt art. I hadn't seen him before, so I just wanted to bring it up. If you guys seen him, that's this part of the news, so we'll move on from it. On to our extra booster leaders. They gave us all 3 leaders, and I'm going to let you know what they do right now. But that's super exciting. We got leaders forward reveal in this extra booster. So let's move on to this. Kozuki Odin, Red-Green Leader, 4 life, 5k power, Land of Wano, Kozuki Clan. According to the rules, your character cards with the Land of Wano type without counter have 1k counter. Dawn times 1. When attacking, if you have a 5 cost or greater Land of Wano character in play, this leader gets 1k power until the start of your next turn. So that's a really interesting effect for a leader. All of your Wano characters are going to have 1k counter regardless, so you don't have to worry about not having enough Wano, or not enough counter in your deck. And you get to, oh, that's such a cool effect to just give all of your cards counter regardless. At least a 1k counter on every card is crazy. And then we have to talk about this being red-green, which is super interesting because we just saw a bunch of yellow Wano characters come out of set 6. So putting red on this is really interesting. I think they didn't want to compete with the Yamato most likely, so they didn't make it green-yellow. But this brings us back to set 1 Land of Wano characters. So are we going to, I'm guessing that EB-01 is going to have red Wano characters, and they'll play nicely with the green set 1 Wano characters, and we will have a new leader that can play the crazy combos that Wano had in set 1 that really got to pick up and then disappeared quickly. Our Odin leader didn't really have as much fame as the Kinemon, and I think this leader is going to be able to stand out and possibly be meta relevant with the combination of its 2 effects. So being able to be 6k after an attack until the start of your next turn, lets it compete with the Whitebeards at 6k, the 6k Red Purple Luffy, and that's pretty interesting just to have that. If he attacks, he gets that power up. I guess it's conditionally on a 5-cost Wano, so it's probably only happening mid-game anyways. So it's pretty cool. And final notes, this art is ridiculous. I absolutely love it. I love this art style. I love this artist. Thank you for giving us this incredible Odin leader. Next up, a Blue Purple Impel down leader. Super interesting. Okay. Animal, Blue Purple leader, 4 life, 5k power, Impel down. At the end of your turn, you may return one of your 2-cost or greater Impel down characters to your hand. Set up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active. So if I'm reading that correctly, you return a character and then ramp. So as soon as, so go second, play a 2-cost Impel down character in maybe something that is like gives you an added value already, and then pick it up and be at 3 Dawn at the end of your first turn. That's pretty cool. If it's just untap, that's okay too. If the wording is more relevant to like what Doflamingo does, where it restands cards, then that's also okay. That's still pretty powerful for counter and defense. But we'll have to see how the official, is this ramp or is this like sustained power? Either way, it's blue-purple, so we'll have to see how the blue Impel down stuff interacts with the purple Impel down stuff. I think they made the blue stuff very restricted to where it said, like, I believe the searcher says, pick up a blue Impel down character, which is kind of stinky at this point because we want to do both. But that might mean we get blue, the navy side of Impel down into the blue side. But we'll have to look and see if the purple side is as restricted as the blue side. Because if the purple side just says pick up a Impel down character, you can pick up our prisoners, our pirates on the blue side, and that would be fantastic. So it's time to jump into our Impel down stuff and see what we can do with it, because Hannibal's here and I'm super excited to see what we do with the Impel down archetype. Moving on to our next leader here, we have Kairos, black yellow leader, 4 life, 5k power, Dressrosa. Activate main. Once per turn, you may turn the top card of your life face up, KO up to one of your opponent's cost 0 characters. Again, I think, let's look real quick. This is the same artist as the Odin, and we thank you for this incredible art style that you have. Gorgeous art up front, let's just say that. And then let's move on to a Dressrosa leader that can attack. That's super interesting, with an effect that I'm not sure about right now. You have to rely on minuses on the board or in other places to be able to hit your leader effect, which happens fairly decent, a decent amount. But when I think about effective leaders, they take care of themselves. And like Smoker took care of himself, he was able to give himself his own ability. But you need to have minuses, and so you have to play around that, and that kind of feels weird. But we have a Dressrosa leader that can attack, and it has the yellow coloring, so you're going to be hitting all those great triggers. I'm assuming we're getting yellow Dressrosa in this set, and that will work nicely for this. I would imagine that they also give us some blue Dressrosa, because this is an extra. It's supposed to increase the playability of leaders and cards that are, at least that's what I remember seeing stated. So I'm assuming there's going to be some blue Dressrosa and some yellow. We already saw some yellow and some other colors, I believe, unless it's the next card, that might work with this. So really interesting, really exciting to see what they do with the Dressrosa archetype. And then just gorgeous art. I can't get enough of it. It's so cool. Moving on to our last card here. We have a yellow character. Viola, yellow character, 2 cost 0 power. Dressrosa, 1k counter. Blocker. On play, choose one of the following. Look at all of your opponent's life, then return them in any order, or turn all of your life cards face down. Whoa, Viola. That is wild. So, both effects, incredible. And I think I was trying to allude to this a little bit at the beginning with what do we do with those face-up cards in the deck, the Luffy leaders and stuff like that. Because one of the brothers leaders says, get rid of all face-up life. At the end of turn, trash him. The other one, it's just, we haven't yet seen a way to improve the playability of, I think it's the ace that would get rid of the life because they're face up. This does that. If you need to keep that life, play Viola, flip your life face down, escape that. Really cool. We'll have to see what looking at your opponent's life and returning them in any order does. And any of the other cards also that resort. Do they flip life face down, or do you have to remember what was face up, put them in any order, and then put the face up card back face up? We'll have to look at rules for confirmation on that because I'm not sure. I would assume that they have to stay in their orientation, or this card wouldn't have its secondary effect. So, wild card for a 2 cost. I think it is a lot of power, and we're getting a lot of really great yellow characters that are doing absolutely wild things. And I just noticed that the Viola has a reflection in the window. Another beautiful art for this upcoming set. But that's the last card that we have to talk about today. That was I think a great week of reveals, and we're moving strong towards our set 5. Let me know what you pulled in your pre-release tournament. Did you pull the manga? Has anyone pulled the signature Oda that hasn't already tweeted about it? Let me know what you think. Do you want to hear about pull rates or anything interesting in the pre-release knowledge or what? Let me know in the comments. And other than that, thank you all for watching. If you're still here, hit that thumbs up. Give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you around. Peace.